Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Big Wil Spotlight. We're going to discuss movies the Oscars don't care about. We're going to discuss movies that you care about. So go ahead, get yourself something to eat. Get yourself something to drink. Sit back and relax with your popcorn and your date as we go to Big Wil Spotlight with your hosts, Big Wil, Dr. Quack, and the important one, Mr. Mayhem.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Big Wil Spotlight. I am your host, Big Wil.
And I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem. It's time to start figuring out, is it DC or is it Marvel?
That's right. We're coming to the end of this whole series that we've started. Had quite a few nice discussions throughout this whole thing. Would love to have gotten more comments during the live segments that we started doing.
It's okay.
It's all good. Right. But so we've got it where we're going to do 16 battles today. We're going to do 16 battles next week, all DC versus DC, Marvel versus Marvel, to end up finding out who's going to end up becoming like their
champions.
World champion. There we go.
There you go. And we've got a couple of people going to be here joining us on this. He is a huge DC fan as well as a Marvel fan, but DC is his choice. And let's welcome to the show, the Mad Dog, Dan Moore. And coming to the show, he's a great fan of the show. He loves comics. He loves to talk. That is his thing. Let's welcome to the show, John Strack.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Okay. Thank you for coming on, helping judge this,
Yep.
And to make it fair, there's not 4 of us here. There's only 3. Mayhem's just going to be a moderator.
I'll break the tie if one other person votes tie.
So, are we going to do a coin flip?
Sure.
If need be.
It's right here. But no, we've got them here. Like I said, DC versus DC. So I'll read the DC matchup. Then we'll go to Marvel. Just kind of flip back and forth. You guys talk about real quick who you think would win. Give kind of an analysis on this. Oh, somebody already made the vote. Well, sorry, we're doing it by the heroes and villains. We're not doing it based upon record sales or the amount of time they've been a character or the length of their comics. Because if we get into that, all we're going to do is fight. Let's just have some fun letting the villains and heroes fight.
But thank you for going ahead and doing a comment and getting it out there. Yes, I mean, if I had to pick, yes, it would be Marvel for an overall pick.
But, well, we don't want to upset the DC hero there. So, again, we're drawn at random. So some of these matches may seem a little odd, but they could be very interesting things to talk about. So we're going to start, Dan, with the first one. Harley Quinn versus the Flash.
Just keep in mind, this is completely random. We used a generator, and it picked these battles.
Yeah, Harley Quinn versus the Flash.
Well, Harley Quinn's got a lot of gadgets and toys and everything else, but the Flash, he has that lightning speed. So if the Flash could get around all of the little tricks and props she uses, I would have to say the Flash.
All right.
Yeah.
John, what do you say?
As much as I love Harley Quinn, I'm going to have to agree with Dan. The whole fact of she has all these gadgets, and she when it comes to her and the Joker, she ends up always being the brains of that operation to begin with. But you have the Flash, who could pretty much, he's obviously the fastest guy in the world. He can also go back in time and pretty much time travel with his speed. So as much as it pains me, I'm gonna have to go. Nah. I'm a villain. I'm going Harley Quinn.
Oh, all right.
All right, but since you kind of did point out that Flash is the fastest man on the planet, I would love to see them finish off that Superman versus Flash race at the end of Justice League.
All right.
But either way, sorry for the actual battle to have gone on. It would end up having to be Flash, just because, pointed out, fastest man in the world. He just bypasses the gadgets in the first place, you know. And so
You're taking the Flash? or
it's the
Harley Quinn?
Flash.
All right, Flash moves on. The 2-1 vote right there. So now we go to the Marvel side. We've got Mystique versus Venom.
Ooh.
And we're going to start with John on this one.
Why do you have to start with me on that one? I have to sit here and
You
think
start
about
with the
that for a bit. I'm sitting here like that. Oh, wow. You have Venom, who pretty much obviously is a parasite that keeps his host alive and unharmed. Obviously, you can get around it by making sound. And then you obviously have Mystique, who pretty much can transform into anybody or anything. Well, yeah, actually, no, anybody. She's not that well versed, but really anybody. That's such a tough one. I want to have to go Mystique. She can pretty much become anybody. She could even become Venom, technically.
All right.
But at the same time, as you point out, I don't believe she takes on their powers. She can appear to, because she's, I don't want to call her a hologram, but I don't think she takes on their powers. It's not like she doesn't take on their powers.
Correct.
She just becomes a look-alike. So I'm going to have to go with Venom on that one.
All right, Dan.
I'm going to go and say Venom just because Venom has all these tools with his arsenal. Like, he can shoot the web, he can use his symbiote to choke you out. But like I said, Mystique can only do a mirror image of anybody she wants to. She could trick him, but at the end, Venom has the power.
I would have to agree with that call as well. So that gives Venom the win there. Now we've got in the DC world, starting with Big Will, Deathstroke versus Raven.
Ouch. I see Dan wanting this one already. Wow. Deathstroke, yes. I mean, one of them people who can't miss kind of thing. But to break it down for a battle kind of situation, I mean, I'm just going to have to go with Raven. I mean, she's got the mystical powers. I don't want to call her a witch, but
make her appear somewhere else.
She just has everything to avoid pretty much getting hit and reverse it back on him even.
All right, Dan.
See, Deathstroke, he has the military background. He has the weapons. But in a sense, Raven has, I would have to call her a sorceress of sense, because she has the demonic powers that can do anything to you. So I'm going to have to choose Raven.
All righty, John.
I'm going to have to go 3 for 3 on that. I just think Raven, just by the powers alone, yes, Deathstroke can shoot pretty much as far as he wants and is perfect, but I just don't see how he can attack the fact that he's going against a sorceress. So I'm gonna have to go Raven.
Well, the comments were split, and Raven takes the one on this one. So, Mad Dog, I know you're not as much Marvel as you are DC, but you get this one, and this should be actually a pretty easy one in my opinion. Sabretooth and Star-Lord. We said this was a totally random generated thing.
So you give me a guy that has the primitive animal instinct and a guy that is a joker most of the time. Okay. I would have to go with Sabretooth because he has that anger, he has the fight, and Star-Lord is strong in his own sense, but half the time he's trying to make a joke out of everything, and Sabretooth's always serious. He's always got that rage. So Sabretooth for me.
All right, John.
It'd be interesting to see if this was a real battle, if you would have Star-Lord who would sit there and try to create a dance-off against Sabretooth. The dance-off to save the world part 2. But I'm going to there's parts of me that agrees. It's Star-Lord, he's a practical joker, but then again, people underestimate he's actually pretty cunning. whatever. He could pretty much outsmart you by just acting stupid. I, I'm gonna have to go with Star-Lord, and it's by the slimmest of margins, but just how what he like because he also has all these other gadgets as well, so it's close, but I'm gonna have to go Star-Lord.
All right.
It would be an interesting battle just from the standpoint of basically Star-Lord can hover and fly and disappearing here too. They so I mean he could in essence kind of stay away from Sabretooth, but Sabretooth would just hunt him down. I'm sorry, it's got to go to Sabretooth.
All righty. So, John, you get this one, and this one's kind of interesting. We get Sinestro and Reverse Flash.
Ooh.
Why do I have to start off on the ones that have to make me really think?
Well, Maymay's thinking along with you here.
I'm sitting here, I'm just like, wow. I'm gonna have to go Reverse Flash. It's Sinestro. Yeah, he can pretty much think of he has the ring. He could think things that and make them just like a Green Lantern would. And then obviously Reverse Flash. He's fast, and it's pretty much you're saying the same thing as the Flash to begin with. And actually, he's very smart as well. So I'm gonna have to go Reverse Flash. But it's again another one that's slimmest of margins. Of it could if you're telling me you have a best of 3, it's a 2-1. It's not like it's a clean sweep of who wins.
All right. What you got there, big man?
I was thinking about something completely different. The only thing that would help Sinestro is the fact of trying to scare Reverse Flash. I don't know if fear would keep him from being able to think straight or anything like that. So, I mean, it just ends up kind of boiling down to that the Reverse Flash is just going to back and forth him. And because, I mean, if you keep with the comics and don't go to the movie side of it, the Lantern, he's not a Green Lantern anymore. He's the Yellow Lantern, but they don't have projectile weapons. So, I mean, it's all blunt. So I'm gonna have to go with Reverse Flash on that one.
All righty, and Dan.
What's going on for them too? Yeah, Reverse Flash. He has the anger. He has speed. He has the true evilness about him. And Sinestro, yeah, he does have the power of the Yellow Ring, but in a sense, the Reverse Flash can get around those obstacles. So I'm gonna say Reverse Flash.
All righty. All right, so Big Will, you get to start with this one. Apocalypse and Colossus.
Oh my God. I mean, Colossus, turns himself into metal. I mean, yeah, he's got great strength. He's bulletproof, whatever, but Apocalypse has so much of an arsenal, so much behind him. I mean, it's just that's almost a hands down one. It's got to be Apocalypse.
All right, Dan.
Apocalypse hands down because the other guy's bulletproof. He's made of metal and he's strong, but Apocalypse has so much more power.
Mm-hmm. All right, John.
I'm not going to beat the dead horse. I'm going to agree. It's got to be Apocalypse. Like if we're saying he's going against, if Colossus was going against someone who's going a mercenary, say Deadpool, yeah, you could give it to Colossus a little bit because being bulletproof and stuff like that. But going against somebody who can do pretty much anything, you have to go with Apocalypse.
All right, and Dan, you get to have fun with this one because this one kind of is interesting. Cyborg and the Penguin.
Point out again, absolutely random. We did not pick these.
So the Penguin versus Cyborg. Okay, let's close this down. Penguin has his guns and his shortness, and Cyborg has his ability to manipulate anything technology, and dude, he's got guns on his arms, so it's gonna be hands down Cyborg.
All right, John.
It just took the words out of my brain. Yeah, it's gonna be Cyborg just for that. Like what was it? Like not just trying to take away from the comics to the movies to TV, but you have Penguin who could sit there and like the original like Batman. What was he the first one? The first one or the second? Whatever it was. Um, you had pretty much Penguins who would have rockets strapped to their backs and have timers on them. Cyborg can get around that. So it and turn them around against him, just like how Batman did it. So I have to go with Cyborg.
All right.
Well, it's going to be a flash across the board about being Cyborg, but that was the second one, by the way, Batman 2.
Second. Okay.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, Penguin doesn't. He controls Penguins by the movie. I mean, yes, in the other one, I mean, he doesn't really have the Penguins. He just is little cunning man that is out for revenge for the most part. So I mean, doesn't really have anything special. Whereas Cyborg, hell, his suit repairs its stuff.
Yep. All right, John. Hopefully this one won't be as difficult for you. Black Panther and Gamora.
Black Panther.
Okay. That was quick.
That was a quick answer. No explanation. Nothing.
Well, okay, sorry. You have Black Panther who has pretty much like all the technology from Wakanda. It is the most advanced, technically speaking, advanced country in the Marvel universe. So I just like, yeah, Gamora is Thanos' stepdaughter, but I just don't see it. I guarantee the Black Panther could think his way around to be able to stop her.
All right.
Okay, going to me. Gamora is one of them people, if she wasn't part of a group, which is why it works out for Guardians of the Galaxy and everything like that, I don't think she provides anything absolutely special. No, I'm not talking about looks or attitude or anything like that. She's a great fighter. She was raised to be unbeatable pretty much. But Black Panther, sorry, gets to drink the drink and ends up taking on the, powers, and he's just all around. He can fight just as well, and then has the suits and Wakanda behind him.
All right, Dan.
I'm gonna have to go with Black Panther just because, yes, the technology, the way that he fights, and Gamora, she's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but she, like Big always said, she needs somebody with her. She's never fought herself. So, Black Panther.
Yeah. And you get this one. This is kind of a fun one on its surface. Green Lantern and Catwoman.
Okay. Since we have done an actual episode of just Green Lantern before, I mean, it's going to end up being Green Lantern to win it. It's just Catwoman's going to give it a good try and everything like that. She's hard to hit, and like I pointed out, comic version, not movie version. It's blunt objects, not projectile objects. So she's going to be all up close, but in the end, it's going to boil down to the suit, the power, and the barrage of blunt weapons that he can use against her. I mean, build a wall, So yeah, Green Lantern.
All right, Dan.
I'm gonna have to go with Green Lantern because, like I said, he has the ring, the power. He can basically put her into a box and squeeze the life out of her. Catwoman only has advantage over one person, that is Batman, because the whole love thing. But Catwoman can't stand around against Green Lantern now.
All right, John.
I'm gonna have to agree. It's gonna be Green Lantern. The only thing that would make it even close is Catwoman is not as stupid as a lot of people think her character is. She's really smart. You have to be smart to be able to go toe to toe versus Batman, and whether it's a love interest or not, she can turn it around and possibly use that feminine side and actually use it against Green Lantern. But again, because of the whole fact of he can manipulate objects to be like as Dan was saying, pretty much could turn into a box, squeeze the life out of her. That would give him the win, but it's not again one of those where it's like, hey, it's a 3-0 sweep. It's she can get close, but yeah, Green Lantern.
All righty. And Dan, you get this one. This is the one that I thought would be, of this grouping, the most entertaining to watch.
Oh,
Quicksilver and Storm.
Ooh.
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 Might have to take a minute just to think on that. Brother.
Quicksilver, he's not of the popular speedsters, but he is up there. Storm, like, she can manifest any kind of weather. She can beat you down with hail, shock you with lightning, do what she wants. And Quicksilver can only run so much. So I'm going to say Storm.
All right. John.
I'm gonna have to agree a bit. She can she controls the weather. If she really wanted to, she could pretty much make a tornado and just swipe him up. And I just don't see how he can combat every single weather known to man. Storm.
All right.
I'm gonna be the face of kind of. I can't say I'm gonna be the face of reality on this one. If Quicksilver, because he's not quite as popular, so you don't know as much about him. But if he moves as fast as like the Flash and can control lightning himself, he can probably outrun a tornado. I'm sure he can do that. He can probably just knock a tornado out if he can be fast enough to be able to use the lightning bolts to be able to get up the storm. I'm going to say it might actually be Quicksilver on that one.
I was on the fence on it personally. That yeah, he can run faster than lightning. Lightning actually doesn't move at the speed of light. It's very close. So it'd be a little interesting to see.
I think that one would be.
But we got 2 votes for Quicksilver, so for Storm. So Storm does move on.
Before I move on, can I say a joke real quick that goes with this?
Sure.
Okay, what was Captain America's shield made out of?
Vibranium.
Okay. What was Hawkeye's shield made out of?
I don't want to call it vibranium because it was a different shield. Because I don't remember what happened to the first shield, but in the last one, Captain America had. He ended up going quiet on me.
I said Hawkeye's shield is made out of Quicksilver. Remember the movie?
No, I don't remember it in the movie right off the top of my head.
Was control of the ship and was shooting. Who was Hawkeye's shield? Quicksilver.
Okay.
Okay.
It's all good.
He's making a joke off of Age of Ultron.
Gotcha.
See, I got John.
All right. So, John, you get this one here. You get Martian Manhunter and Brainiac.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that.
Can we take a break? Can we take a commercial break and I'll get back to that?
This is live. Go. I mean, we can take this over to Dan real quick. Give you a chance to think. I already know.
I'm gonna have to go Brainiac. Like, I don't know too much about Martian Manhunter, but I just think like everything from my knowledge about Brainiac, he can also he can pretty much control things. So I think it's gonna have to be Brainiac.
All right. There you go.
I'm going to let Dan. I saw the wheels spin, and I know he wants this one.
All right.
Going off mythology of both characters, from the books, the movies, and the games. Oh yeah, Brainiac is very smart. He tries to attain all bits of knowledge. He controls a lot of things, but also not too many people know about Martian Manhunter's powers. Martian Manhunter is a badass on his own. I don't know too much about him, but I know he's got a lot in his arsenal. So I'm going to have to go with Martian Manhunter on that one.
All right.
Martian Manhunter. Okay. I'm almost in agreement with him. I mean, it's Brainiac does, he's known for being able to do things with his mind, but Martian Manhunter has a lot more to offer than just what his name kind of looks like, because I mean, he's out hunting more aliens and everything kind of like that. So he's a words are escaping me today. He's out there hunting, bounty hunter. There we go. So he's got all that stuff under his belt. He's cunning, got the weapons, he's got the technology. So I kind of want to go with Martian Manhunter on that one myself.
All righty. Then you get this one to start with. This is a battle of two populars, Iron Man and Thor.
Oh, good God, how they ended up with a matchup. Oh. Because I mean, if Iron Man got it where the suit does not short out from taking a lightning strike, and he had the right suit also, I would want to say it end up going to Iron Man, because if it was kind of a today thing, because Mjolnir, has been destroyed. So he can't really just drop the hammer on him and leave him there to, perish kind of thing anymore. So if Tony Stark got it where his suits don't short out from lightning, Iron Man.
All right, Dan.
I'm going to have to disagree. Yes, Iron Man, yes, he is very tech savvy with his suits. But Thor is a demigod. He's a god. He controls lightning. He can beat the crap out of those suits, turn them into a soup can. And you take Tony Stark out of the suit, he's nothing. So I'm going to have to go with Thor.
Nothing, yeah.
All right.
Fine. Yeah.
John.
I see where Dan was going with it. With you take the man out of the suit. What is he? And Tony would say, a billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Oh,
Whatever.
wow.
However you say that word. But the thing is, just like another hero, hopefully we get to talk about today. Otherwise, we'll talk about him hopefully next week. But all right, he's Tony Stark is smart. You give him time, you give him energy, he's gonna sit there and create whatever he needs to be able to defeat anybody. I guarantee, because of being a part of the Avengers and having Thor a part of the Avengers, he has a failsafe just in case they were to fight. So, hands down, even though he is one of my favorite Marvel characters, Iron Man.
Ooh, Iron Man got 2 votes. He's the god.
Well, I'm just thinking, because he did have the Hulkbuster to go up against the Hulk. I mean, I'm sure that, like I say, if he had the right suit, not just, which isn't going to do nothing against Thor, but
I was gonna say, if we're talking movie Iron Man, it pretty much tells you that his suit just supercharged, and he took out, he pretty much threw it back at Thor after that. So,
but his suit did take damage, though.
yeah,
his suit always takes damage.
That's why I say this is probably going to be one to talk about for a little bit, because I mean, we could argue all day. I mean, yes, he can't really call him absolutely a god, demigod, whatever. They're still capable of dying. So, I mean, he can be beaten. It's not like he's all immortal god, you can't hurt me. So, I mean, that's why I said, you boil it down because he doesn't have Mjolnir anymore. And if Tony Tony gets it where the lightning's not going to really be a factor. That's why it's just one of those things. It's like that would almost be something to watch.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So I think we're on. John, you get the next one first. This one actually shouldn't be too bad for you. It was Batman and Mr. Freeze.
Why don't you listen to me?
Well, Dan, go ahead.
No, go pick first.
No, yeah, I'm passing the honor back up to you. I know who you're gonna pick, so go ahead.
Well, if anybody knows me correctly here, it's going to be Batman. Batman always has the end game for anybody he goes against. Mr. Freeze is a strong competitor on his own right, but you take the elements away from him, Batman always has them. So it's going to be Batman.
All righty.
He said it all. Just Batman has an end game for everybody. Just like I was saying with Tony Stark, and who knew that Iron Man and Batman were going to pretty much go back to back when it came to matches. But it really sets up the two are really meant to meet each other because they have the end game for everybody. Now are we talking Arnold Schwarzenegger version of Mr. Freeze, or are we just talking overall?
We're talking. In theory, this is everybody at their best version. So we're not talking
okay.
about
Batman hands down.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're talking about quality competition.
Batman hands down blindfolded.
All right.
I mean, it's just been portrayed so many times that, I mean, you can't really argue it. And somebody can just go look at one of the comics. I mean, Batman's going to have it no matter what. It's just the way it is. I mean, Mr. Freeze, I can't say he's not a popular villain in the first place, but he's not as popularized because without having basically moisture in the air to be able to do anything with it, he's kind of at a loss.
All righty. So Batman moves on. You get this one, and I think this is another one of those kind of interesting under the radar ones. Daredevil and Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're getting into harder and harder fights here. I really hate to say it, but I mean, Daredevil, I mean, yes, he has the super hearing, can pretty much detect anything, but Doctor Strange being able to just move from one place to another would just more or less confuse the hell out of Daredevil till he pretty much fell down dizzy. It's almost what it seems like it would boil down to.
All right.
And besides being able to if he comes in for an attack, this portal right in front of him, even if he was staying on the other side and he's hitting himself. Stop hitting yourself.
All right. So you take Doctor Strange?
I would take Doctor Strange on that one.
I'm going with Doctor Strange because, yes, Daredevil can fight. Daredevil does have his heightened sense of hearing. But Doctor Strange has the mystical powers. He has the cape that's pretty much alive that can help him out in a fight. So, Doctor Strange.
All right, John.
The only thing I'm going to say is out of this is it is an interesting matchup, but the fact is that Doctor Strange can be fighting him at the same time of maybe, okay, what if they're in the church? Just continue to sit there and hit the bells to pretty much to disrupt that extra sense that heightened sense that Daredevil has. It's one of those that you don't want it to be, but it's a landslide victory to Doctor Strange just because he's smart. He pretty much has that magic, and where Daredevil's weak is he doesn't have the vision.
Yeah, you take away his hearing and he kind of done for.
All right.
I didn't even think about the bells kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, Dan, you get this one. This is one of your favorites in here, taking on another character. You get Shazam and Aquaman.
I already see where this one's going.
Kitty Bee. It's going to be Shazam because he has the strength, the power. He can fly. Aquaman, he just has the strength and he can talk to fish.
There you go, John.
I'm gonna have to agree. And the best part is about Shazam is he can also change from the very powerful form to pretty much being weak again whenever he wants to. So you never like really know what you're gonna get out of Shazam. So Shazam.
All right.
It's going to end up being Shazam. I mean, I don't want to take much away from Aquaman, especially with how DC's building him up now anyway. Because he's strong on land now too. So, I mean, but it's just Shazam. I mean, get the Egyptian mystical power.
All righty. And you get to start the last one off, John, before we take a quick break to get through all the rest of the way through this. You get Black Widow and Professor X.
Is that really a question?
Yes, it really is a question.
I'm sorry. Yes, I understand Black Widow is an assassin. You had a better shot of asking me who would win, Scarlet Witch to Professor X. Sorry, Professor X hands down. He can just get inside her brain, really mess with her mind. There's nothing that she can do.
All right.
I'm gonna end up saying Professor X, but I think that with all the training and mantras and everything that Black Widow has had to grow up learning and everything like that, she might be able to clear her mind out enough that it would be harder for Professor X to hurt her. Okay. I wouldn't say it wouldn't be Professor X in the end, but it would be an interesting battle for that kind of a sense.
All right, and Dan,
it's going to be an easy fight for Professor X because Professor X can make her just sit there and be like a dumb fight. And he can run her over with a wheelchair.
What is the hover chair?
Yeah, later on it's the hover chair.
So run her up with the afterburners of the hover chair. So,
Professor. Right. Quick word from Crystal Infinity, and then we'll come back and figure out who it's going to be all the way through this first grouping. All right, we're back. Thanks to our longtime sponsors, Crystal Infinity.
What? We have commercials? What?
Oh, that's how we pay your salary. We're almost to the point we can let you actually go to the movies.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting there. All right, so round two has some interesting matches here, and I believe we're starting with you on this one.
All right.
The Flash and Raven.
God, these are getting harder.
We're supposed to.
I know. Oh, wow. Raven. I'm going to end up saying Raven. Raven being the sorceress. Thank you for she's going to be able to manipulate it where Flash isn't being able to be as fast.
Okay.
Little portals. He runs into himself. I mean, I think it would end up being Raven.
All right, Dan.
I'm going to say Raven because Raven can do the portal thing, make him fight himself, or she can turn him to her side and make him basically a warrior of her. So Raven all the way.
All right, John.
I'm not going to argue with it. As much as yes, you could have Flash who can, if he has a chance to be able to say go back in time and change things around, he may have a chance. But with everything, Raven's gonna win no matter what. It's a close fight, but yeah, Raven.
All righty. And this will
Boom,
be
the Flash is gone.
and this will be an interesting one for you, Dan. Sorry, it's Venom and Sabretooth.
Venom, because even though Sabretooth has that rage, has that fight, so does Venom, and Venom can be stronger than Sabretooth, so Venom's hands down.
All right, John.
Even though Dan looks like Sabretooth himself, I'm gonna have to choose Venom. The fact is that Venom could also technically, if I remember right, latch himself onto, if like say Sabretooth was to get a hold of him, he can latch himself onto Sabretooth as well and pretty much control everything with like say movement of his arms. So I'm not really like the hunger of Venom versus the strength and mentality of Sabretooth. It's gonna be Venom.
All right.
It's gonna end up being Venom. Just like they're both heel. I mean, that would be a tough one to end up coming. It would be a great battle, but Venom in the end is just gonna end up being able to end up at some point getting a hold of Sabretooth's arms and feet and just bite his head off.
All righty. So, John, you get this one. It's Reverse Flash and Cyborg.
Oh, now that's an interesting one. I'm gonna like I don't have a great reason behind it. I'm going Cyborg. I just think in a long drawn out fight between the two, you would have to give it to Cyborg.
All right.
Well, not absolutely understanding every aspect of Cyborg's abilities, I'm sure that with his eye, the prosthetic eye, he probably is able to, I'm sure with today's technology, be able to slow Reverse Flash down enough for him to be able to do something about it.
All right. So you're taking on,
I'm taking on Cyborg also.
All right. Dan?
I'm going to take Cyborg because I'm going with one of Cyborg's tricks that he has those tentacle things that he can shoot out and tie up his legs. So Cyborg.
All righty. So this one will be interesting. Apocalypse and Black Panther.
It was hard. We had to come up with so many names to put in here and everything like that to do this and eliminate some things and put in others. But to do it in a random generator and end up having Apocalypse in this contest, I'm not saying Apocalypse can't be beat because he has been beaten, but with what he's gone up against so far, the human aspect of Black Panther is what's going to end up getting Apocalypse the win in that one.
All right. Dan?
I'm not going to say it won't be a good fight. Black Panther holds his own for a little bit, but eventually Apocalypse is going to destroy him.
All right. John?
They said it all. Apocalypse.
All righty. So we're going to Dan on this one, and it is, let me make sure I got my name right here, Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter.
Ooh. See, with all the knowledge I know about that too, I'm going to have to go with Martian Manhunter because the ring can be beat. It's been proven to be beat. So Martian Manhunter.
All right, John.
I'm the exact opposite. I think that the Green Lantern, I would give him the win. I think if you give him time to be able to manipulate things that as he thinks would help him win, I think that would give him enough. It's close. Like I could say, hey, we need to flip a coin on this, but I would have to say Green Lantern.
He's a little big of a coin, but he gets to break the tie.
I'm going to go with Martian Manhunter for the simple fact of this is Green Lantern by himself. It's not the Lantern Corps. If he had the Corps, then yes, the Lantern. But by himself, Martian Manhunter's hunting down aliens across the galaxies. It's a Martian bounty hunter. So, I mean, he's got all the tricks of the trade to try and just to deal with the Lantern, basically.
All right. This one's going to be interesting, John. I'm sorry. You keep getting these odd ones. Storm and Iron Man.
Oof.
This is one that I did not want to have happen because Storm is one of my favorites when it comes to X-Men, and obviously my favorite Marvel character is Iron Man. So very good matchup. But if we're going off of the same thing as we did versus Thor, you give Iron Man time to be able to set this up. It's got to be Iron Man because Storm, yes, she has lightning. She could pretty much have hail. I just there's not a lot, like it's a close fight. It's one down to like how they end Civil War, where pretty much Captain America slams the shield into the chest of Tony. I think Tony could come up with something to beat Storm, but it's not saying that Iron Man can't be beat at that point. So I'm gonna say Iron Man, but it's like really twisted my arm for an answer.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of hitting on it, like I pointed out with Iron Man. Yeah, I mean, he gets the suit that doesn't get affected by lightning and everything like that. He can fly through storms, apparently. So, I mean, it would be an interesting fight again. But yeah, I would end up having to go with Iron Man.
All righty. Damn.
I'm going to be the odd one out here. I'm going to say Storm because if you go off everything that we've seen in the movies and the comic books, and we don't give him the opportunity of time, Storm can turn that suit to where it's non-functional. Because we've seen in the movie where he gets too cold, the suit shuts down. If he gets electrocuted, the suit was eventually shut down. So I'm going to have to say Storm.
Now, Iron Man moves on, but yeah, it was not a clean sweep on that one. So we got you on this one. We've got Batman and Shazam.
That one was harder.
Yeah, I mean, again, kind of going back with Tony Stark, you give him preparation and everything like that. I mean, Bruce Wayne is gonna find a way to take it. I mean, I'm sorry, going with the movies and everything like that kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, he ended up being able to go up against Superman because he found out his weakness and used it against him. And that's what Bruce Wayne does. It's just, that would be a hard fight for him to get through. I think it's just the same as him going up against Superman. I mean, it's going to be a hard fight. He's going to be hurting at the end of it, but I'm going to go with Batman.
All right, Dan.
I'm going to go with Batman on the stake where Batman can also get to him before he says the word and I make him able to be able to speak. So there goes his power. So I'm going to say Batman.
All right, John.
And just like as Big Will was saying, when it comes to Tony, Tony and Bruce are pretty much the same character in just different comic groups.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very it's hard to really bet against them because they've always had those fail safes in those situations. So it is Batman because you have to guarantee he has a fail safe on how to beat Shazam. And I'm going to agree with what Dan said. If you could get him not to speak those words, Shazam's done.
All righty. And Dan, last one of the second round, Doctor Strange and Professor X.
Oh, wow.
That's the hardest one. Coin flip. Coin flip.
All right, I'm going to take out of the other box here because if you had Professor X where he's not in, I can't say the thing. It was the little thing he goes into he can see all the mutants and shit.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Cerebro.
If you get him out in the open, Doctor Strange could get the jump on him. So it's a toss up. I can't decide.
You took Doctor Strange. All right, John.
To me, it is a coin flip. It is
It's hard.
and the reason why I'm saying this is the hardest match because yes, you do have Doctor Strange, who's the master of mystic arts, and then you have Professor X, who's pretty much really good at getting him. He's a psychic. He can get into your brains. He can pretty much control you. I have if I was going to put money on it, I'd put Professor X because Professor X can control his mind, and which means he could technically put Doctor Strange in the middle of nowhere and leave him there, put him into space, do whatever, and not let him defend himself. So I will say Doctor Strange will lose this match, but again, coin flip.
I'm almost with wanting to do a coin flip too, but I'm going to go with Doctor Strange. I do believe that he would end up being able to manipulate enough things to end up getting Professor X's attention to not be able to be completely on his mind so that he can function and be able to do his mystical stuff to be able to send him to a different realm, the different, whatever he needed to do. So I would say Doctor Strange.
I keep forgetting about the mirror dimension. Technically, all you have to do is put him in the mirror dimension and really play with him there.
All righty. And John, you get to start in the Elite Eight, Raven versus Cyborg.
Ooh. I've been going with Cyborg this entire time. This time I have to go against Cyborg. I just think everything that Raven can do, and there's still a lot of things that we don't know what Raven can do. Like her story continues to evolve even to this day. So I have to go Raven on this one.
All righty.
All right, on me. Yeah, I mean, Cyborg, yes, he does have, the computer technology to help him out and everything like that, but technology can only get you so far as compared against magic. I'm sorry. It's got to be Raven.
All right, Dan.
I'm going to go with Raven on this one because Raven can also pull him apart, and then he's nothing. So Raven.
All righty, and then you get this one. This is actually going to be a tough one for this guy. It's Venom versus Apocalypse.
Wow. It's hard to. I just don't know enough about Apocalypse. I mean, in passing kind of thing to know that he's got a lot of powers and everything like that. Venom, you go by I'm sure the comics are kind of the same way. Probably been able to do more in the comics than compared to what they did in the movies. I'm gonna have to go with Venom. I mean, he can't. He's able to regenerate himself. And once he gets in there and close enough, I guess he doesn't have to absolutely be in there close enough. I mean, he still has projectile. He can do some projectile weapons and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, we're going to go with Venom.
All right, Dan.
I'm going to have to go with Apocalypse on this one because Apocalypse can also separate Venom from his host. But on the other hand, Venom could also take over Apocalypse. So I'll actually coin flip on this one. I'm it can go either way.
All right.
Coin flip.
All righty. Well, since I am the coin flip, I'm going with Venom from the standpoint of Apocalypse. While he is a god and he is powerful, he needs his horsemen. By himself, Apocalypse is not as strong. So Venom would actually come in and do what you said. Well, Venom could be separated from his host. Then Venom just becomes the host to Apocalypse, or Apocalypse becomes the host. And it comes back to quit hitting yourself. So I will break the tie and say Venom takes that one.
I'll accept that.
Or just make Apocalypse even stronger and combine the two together. There you go.
There you go. All right. Who are we on now?
I just did that one.
All right. So, Dan, you get Batman and Martian Manhunter.
I'm going to say Batman again. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. John?
It always leads to the same thing. Batman has a failsafe for everyone. And if I remember right, I'm not that too savvy into DC Comics, but I believe Martian Manhunter was a Justice League member. So Batman had something against every Justice League member just in case something were to go wrong. So Batman.
All right.
There was already a pre-planned win for Batman on that one.
All righty. Okay. So, John, you get to get us to the final four: Doctor Strange and Iron Man.
Ooh, this is okay. So, I know I went against Doctor Strange in the last round, and then, but Doctor Strange is technically one of my ever since, especially the movie came out, has become more of my second favorite Marvel character that I can really put money behind. The thing is, this is a matchup that I would love to see, especially in the movies, because you have Tony Stark, who pretty much is smart. He can pretty much, again, has almost like guaranteed he has a fail safe. Granted, yeah, he has to fail first before figuring it out, but he is going against Doctor Strange. It's a toss up. Just because I want to end up seeing Batman versus Iron Man in the finals, I have to go Iron Man just because I want to keep it. But I could see it honestly going either way because you do have the master of mystic arts who could pretty much totally mess with Tony.
All right.
I don't want to say it out loud because Iron Man is one of my favorite characters. I just think that Doctor Strange would win that fight. I mean, it's boiling down to magic versus, man. And I mean, short of another magic character, I don't know if anybody's been able to do much against Doctor Strange kind of thing. So, unfortunately, it's going to end up being Doctor Strange.
All right, Dan.
It's the battle against magic versus technology. Like, technology can only get you so far, and magic's unlimited. So I'm going to have to say Doctor Strange.
All right. And he wins that one by a 2-1. Final four. And I think we're starting with
Big Will.
Start with Big Will? Or
Yeah, it's Big Will because I just did Iron Man.
All right, so Raven and Batman.
Oh, good God. We've just gone through when we eliminated Cyborg and we just eliminated Iron Man for these reasons. It's Raven because Batman, like I say, the physical fighting, technology raising up, makes for good fights and everything like that. But with the mystical arts, it's Raven.
All right, Dan.
I'm going to have to say Raven because if you want to get technical with it, Batman has to get beat before he actually figures out what he can do against this other person. And Raven has this untapped power where we don't know where her power truly lies. And she also has that demon form. So I want to have to go with Raven.
All right, John.
And I think this is the first time we actually brought up the fact of her demon form. So I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to agree with them. As much as it pains me, and as Big Will was saying about Iron Man, I don't want to have to say this, but I have to go with Raven. It's just exactly that the reasons of technology, magic if anybody real like in the Justice League or anyone who goes against Batman realizes he has something already against him, all like especially with her, she can manipulate it and actually turn it against him. So it has to be her.
All righty. And then, Dan, you're going to close out. So Raven is the top half. Who's going to be the top half for Marvel? Is it Venom or Doctor Strange?
I'm going to have to go with Venom on this one because even though that Doctor Strange will put up a good fight with his magic and everything else, I think the end game would be Venom taking him out.
All right, John.
I'm gonna go back to one thing I said earlier when it was like, okay, going against earlier it was Doctor Strange versus Daredevil, correct?
Yes, there was Doctor Strange and Daredevil.
So I'm gonna have to go to the same. I'm gonna have to go to the same aspect of that is Doctor Strange. All he has to do is okay. If they're in a church, hit the bells because what is Venom's biggest weakness is noise, and just like with Daredevil, so I have to go with the Master of Mystic Arts. This is going to be a final of who's better at magic.
All right.
I think he's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna end up being Doctor Strange, unfortunately, and just like you pointed out, I mean, it would be a tough fight until Strange found out Venom's weakness, but that's the whole thing, you know. You don't really get to play it out, and it's like if Strange didn't find out the noise weakness of Venom, then it would be Venom. But at some point in time, something, yeah, that's a hard one. I don't like to answer these.
It was your idea.
I know. This was all my idea. We're
All
getting
right.
into the hard parts.
Yep.
Talking about people's weaknesses.
Yep. Well, now we get now next week we're going to find out the other side, and then we're going to get to those and find out who wins it all.
But we have one more.
No, that's it.
No, we got one more. We have the Master of Mystic Arts versus Raven.
Okay, I thought you wanted to wait until the end. Okay, so
no, that's that one.
Okay, Raven versus Doctor Strange, and that's
the end of this cycle.
That's on John.
Coin flip. Because it's whoever could figure out the other what makes the other person weak first. They're both magical. One obviously is more towards the dark side of magic than the other. Granted, obviously, comic wise, you do have Doctor Strange who he does dip into the dark side of magic every once in a while as well. Heck, if I remember right, he ends up marrying is it the niece or the daughter of Dormammu? So it is one of those. It's pick your poison. Who can you choose? Me being like me thinking about it, obviously the aspect of Doctor Strange is very smart and he's really calculating on what he does and when he does it. So I would have to say Doctor Strange.
All right.
I am gonna lean on Raven for this one. They both are more or less portrayed as having the same sorts of powers with portals and so on and so forth, but Raven has the demonic side to her. She can get angry and her powers grow stronger, whereas poor Steven has to basically stay calm to be able to do his little things. He can't. it won't do him any good to be all excited or, fearful or, he's limited. I feel like he's limited.
Well, and before we go to Dan, we also have to remember the fact that Doctor Strange also can use his third eye as well. So how much we also have to probably take into play is how much can that dictate what's going on as well within that fight.
All right, Dan.
Well, I'm going to have to go with Raven on this one because Raven and Doctor Strange, yes, they do have similar powers. Raven has already shown through the comic books and like whatever she's been illustrating, she will go to the limits. Doesn't care what she has to do to get her villain beat. And Doctor Strange, he's always that good guy. He's always like thinking of others before himself. So Raven can easily use that against him. So I'm going to go with Raven on this one.
All right, which means Raven takes the top half.
Yeah, she has won this week's battle.
And this was a great debate.
Yeah,
Thank you, everybody. That was a lot of fun.
All right.
So
I don't want to do that again. That was like there were a lot of matchups where you have to literally sit there and use all your brain power and try to figure out, okay, who could come out on top on this. It's not like it actually happened before
We're
us
going to
live.
be doing it again next week, but
next week is
it's
Memorial Day,
Day.
so we will hold off for a week to give everybody a chance to reset.
yeah, get your mind straight.
We're veterans here. John's a veteran. Dan, I'm not sure. You're not a veteran, are you? Or are you a veteran? You're not a veteran, but I know you support the veterans. Plus, that's a good time as a pro wrestler. You got a lot of bookings coming up. So we're going to take Memorial Day off. Okay.
You cut out Dan on that one.
I said I got a lot of family members that served. I couldn't serve because I was born with a hernia, and that was a medical risk and crap like that.
Gotcha.
All right.
But we're going to take Memorial Day off, so make sure you thank a vet and think about the members of your family that gave their all. And we'll see you in 2 weeks to figure out the other half of the bracket. See you there.
Thank you guys for coming by, helping out, and everything like that. Hey, thanks for the people who actually watch the show. All right. We'll catch you in about 2 weeks.
More comments next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the